Having seen the relationship between customer and banker, the general and special relationship, now we shall look at the various principles of banking. The first thing we should understand while talking about the principles of banking is what are the businesses that a bank can do. Once I was taking a class to a group of trainees and was talking about liquidity, and suddenly one of the students asked, why not the bank do the business of milk, because milk is a very liquid asset. Of course milk is a very liquid asset, but can a bank do the business of buying and selling milk? Or for that matter, can a bank do, the real estate prices are going up by leaps and bounds every day, therefore can a bank purchase some 1,000 acres of land in the heart of the city or in some peripheral of the city and then sell it when the prices go up because they have money? They can as well buy. Or can the bank go and start buying of shares in the share market? Now, these are all prohibited for banks. The Banking Companies Regulation Act very clearly says which are the businesses that a bank can do. What was the necessity for this stipulation or this statute which gives what are the permitted businesses? Because in the early days of 1930 and all in US, many banks were doing cotton trade and some other businesses, and these banks failed because their trade failed, and therefore banks were prohibited from doing any business. Banks were supposed to do only the business of banking, and therefore section 6(1) was introduced in the Banking Regulation Act, which very clearly stipulates what are the businesses a bank can do. The section 6(1) says borrowing and lending. These are all the permitted businesses: borrowing and lending, dealing with the bills of exchange, issuing letter of credits, dealing in gold. That is why banks are able to buy and sell gold coins. They are selling gold coins. Not buying, they are selling gold coins. Acting as agents of government. Bank can issue guarantee or indemnity. Bank can act as a trustee. Bank can do underwriting. They have a big list from A to O. These are all the permitted businesses a bank can lend. The last, of course, is any business. In O, the Act says any business which is permitted by the central government and the Reserve Bank of India can be undertaken by a bank. So what are the permitted businesses is very clearly stipulated from A to O, and there is also a provision by which any other business permitted by Reserve Bank or government the bank can do. So these are the businesses. This is the area in which a banker can play. You cannot play in any other area. Your area of operation is very restricted to the activities that are very specifically stipulated and mentioned in section 6(1) A to O. Then 6(2) very clearly says no banking company shall engage in any form of business other than those referred to in subsection 1. So 6(1) gives a category of, gives a list of businesses a bank can do and then seals it. And section 6(2) seals that, saying that a bank shall not do any other business other than what is mentioned under 6(1). So now the question to the student asked whether a bank can do milk business. No, because it is not specifically stipulated. Can a bank do real estate business? No, because it is not specifically permitted. So what business a bank can do is very clearly brought within the framework of section 6(1) of the Banking Regulation Act. Apart from that, there are some specific prohibitions in the Act with regard to the business a banking company can do. Section 8 of Banking Regulation Act very clearly says, very clearly prohibits a bank from engaging in any kind of trading activity or buying and selling of goods. So you cannot trade in commodity, you cannot buy and sell goods. Suppose they say imli, that is tamarind, is very cheap in North India. Lot of people use it in South India. So a bank branch, Bhagalpur, bank branch of a bank, you can ask the manager to buy imli there and send it to Chennai and sell it there, make a profit. Can a bank do it? A bank cannot do it because a bank is prohibited from engaging in any kind of buying and selling or trading of commodities. Then there is another specific provision which prohibits a bank from holding or owning immovable property except for own use. Section 9 of the Banking Regulation Act very clearly stipulates a banking company cannot buy and sell real estate property. It can hold real estate property only for own use. Therefore, the Act very clearly defines the 4 areas, the 4 corners within which a banker can play. Beyond that, he cannot do any other business. Why they have done so? Because in the past it has been proved in the early 20s, early 30s, in 1800 and all, whenever banks were doing trading activity or any other business other than banking, if there is a loss in that business, for example, in Florida, many banks were doing cotton purchasing and selling in the 1800s, in the late 80s. And most of them failed because when cotton prices failed, they incurred a huge loss in their trading activity. Then that loss got carried on to the bank, and the bank also incurred, bank had to be closed because of the loss in the trading activity. Therefore, only they have now built a very clear China's wall, in the sense that a bank can do only banking business, and whatever specific business that is allowed under section 6(1), other than that they cannot do. There is also a specific prohibition under section 8 which prohibits a bank from doing trading activity, and section 9 which does not permit a bank to hold property, real estate or property other than for own use.